Welcome to Empty Nesters True Crime Podcast, where we explore chilling mysteries and dark secrets. With their nest now empty, Susan and Nancy have more time to uncover the truth and venture into the unknown. Let's step into the shadows together, shall we? Hey Nancy, how you doing tonight?
Hi Susan.
So Nancy?
Yes?
We had a double date night last night.
We did. We went to
It's a miso
something ramen.
I think it's a miso ramen bar or something in Raleigh.
Yes, miso ramen bar. Mm-hmm.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
It was good.
I liked it. I mean, we waited an hour to sit down.
It's a very small place. Not a lot of tables.
Totally tiny.
Yeah. And then, it's a Friday night, and there were some bigger tables that when we got there, they were already done eating.
Mm-hmm.
And we got seated an hour after we got there. They were still sitting there.
Yeah, but I think...
Anyways.
I think when you go out like that and you're like, I'm going to pay this money, and we're here to dine, and we're here to be together, and people just don't realize people are waiting for a spot, or they don't care.
That particular venue probably wasn't a spot you want to go and sit for hours because it is so tiny. But anyways.
It was tiny. But the food was delicious.
I was gonna say, if we weren't the ones waiting, we probably wouldn't have cared. But we needed the table.
We were hungry.
But yes, the food was so good. I love what I had. I'm not even sure what was all in there. And then Susan and I had the edamame beans.
Spicy garlic.
They were good. They weren't too spicy because I'm not huge on spice, but...
No. I was worried with your food allergies, you would have a flare-up.
Yeah, there's a lot in that thing I ate, but I did not. Shockingly, I did not. Nothing bothered me.
You told the server, this is what I have, this is what's going on.
And she told me which one to get. She gave me two options off that menu because that's the tricky part. Like, I wouldn't have known this one had some kind of pork, this one had some kind of beef broth. Like, I wouldn't have known.
Right.
Because it doesn't say it on the menu. But they were wonderful. And obviously, as you know, it's a really clean restaurant because sometimes they could just take a knife and cut something with it. And then if that touches my food, I'll know. Not always, but sometimes. But
yeah. What I liked about it was what was that drink I had that Kitty Cat?
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty. Oh
Like
my
hello.
God. You go to the ramen miso bar, get the Hello Kitty. I had another drink after that. Nancy, she sampled it, but she don't drink a lot.
I like the first one. The first one was good.
The Hello Kitty was phenomenal. Chef's kiss. The one that had the matcha in it, not so much.
Yeah, it's a matcha bomb.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was way better.
Not a fan. If I'm going to drink matcha, I need to drink it in the morning to wake myself up.
Yeah, we need that at a tea place. But that was good.
So the Tyson fight was last night.
Okay.
And the funny thing is like we live around the corner from each other, but we drove separately. And I was like, my husband was like, why do you want to drive separately? I said, I don't know, maybe they're meeting your daughter like at her restaurant later or whatever. I said, I'm just letting them go with it. Neither one of us had a reason to drive separate.
I'm just going to say, I said something about text me when you leave, we can all head out. Well, she's not texting back. So I just said to Paul, we'll just head up there. We'll get ourselves in the waiting list, blah, blah, blah. So Susan texts and she says, oh, what's your ETA? We're at 7. I said, how are you a half hour ahead of us? Apparently she didn't see the text that she was supposed to text me when she left, so we're going to blame her.
I saw it, and I thought I responded to it.
But it all worked out. She put us on the waiting list, so.
Next time, we're riding together. End of story.
Especially for an hour to go to a restaurant. Yeah, it was kind of silly.
Yeah, well, we're talking about going to the farmhouse in Chapel Hill. And if you've not been to the farmhouse in Chapel Hill and you live in North Carolina, you need to go. It's totally phenomenal. We're riding together.
Well, that one's close, though. That's not the hour drive, but...
It's still 30 minutes. We're riding together. We can ride in the back. and drive the husbands crazy.
I like driving Miss Daisies.
Yeah, but there won't be heated seats in the back. Did your car have heated seats in the back?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
Yeah, no, we'd have to see.
It'll be all right.
I'll put a blanket down. Leather gets cold, I will say that, but if we take mine, we'll put a blanket.
But we had a lot of fun. It was a good time.
And it's nice to get out like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is. Mm-hmm. It is. But then the Tyson...
You had the fight.
The fight. And excuse me for not knowing who he fought. That was the winner because I came home. Husband was like, the fight's about to begin. He turns it on. The Netflix is spinning. Then he cusses at the TV for a few minutes. He does something and then it comes on.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, when is this fight supposed to be on? He says, starting now. They introduce them. And the next thing I know, my husband comes over and says, you ready to go to bed? And I open my eyes and I'm like, who won the fight?
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep. Missed the whole fight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I love me some Mike Tyson. I'm sorry he lost, but he made a lot of money.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it was... I mean, it wasn't a knockout. They had to pick the winner, so...
Nah.
People, I don't know. Was it a clear winner? Did Matt think it was a clear winner?
It would be like me fighting Ariel. Come on, who's going to win? Youth wins every time. You can't fight Grandpa.
Well, obviously, he did pretty good, though. He didn't get knocked out. I mean,
the man said he didn't want to knock him out.
Oh. Well, that was nice. They said it was like Gen X fighting Gen Z or something if we do the... Yeah, because he's our age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's all right. Mike, I think Matt said today, he made $20 million or something. I mean, he made millions of dollars.
They said he should have licked his ear as like a... to scare him.
Hell, I would let somebody knock me out for $20 million.
Well, it's going to give you brain damage the rest of your life, but...
Nancy, we're in our 50s.
Yeah, true.
So, what you got for us tonight?
Okay. Today, we are going to Washington, D.C., and it's the story of Christy Bautista. She's a young Philippine-American woman from Harrisburg, Virginia. She graduated from James Madison University, and she took a short trip to the city to attend a concert. But unfortunately, she never made it home. It's a story that has shocked people across the country, raising huge questions about hotel safety, security, and just how much trust we put in places that we just assume are supposed to be safe.
What concerts was she going to?
I don't know. So honestly, they keep a lot of their this private. The family has chosen not, to be out in the public. I mean, they've done some things about it, but a lot of it's pretty hush-hush.
All right.
So Christy was 31. She was full of life, loved music, loved playing her violin, and just described as kind, generous, extremely smart, and independent. I mean, she was at that hotel by herself, so I'm assuming she went by herself to meet friends. She was genuinely excited for this quick getaway to see the concert. She chose to stay at a budget-friendly place called the Ivy City Hotel, which was located in Northeast Washington. Now, Susan, at our age, when we hear budget-friendly, we might skip that one. But, she's young, just in town. I'm assuming she was meeting friends there. Again,
No,
it's not out there.
Because, I love to go to Two Friends shows.
Mm-hmm.
And Two Friends has a Discord app. Whoever's familiar with Discord. I was not familiar with Discord until Two Friends. And really, on Discord, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I follow Two Friends. And I do follow one other DJ. But...
Marshmallow?
No, but I would love to see Marshmallow.
Ethan saw him. I thought that was cool. I'm like, what's going on here? What's that thing on his... I don't know anything about DJs, but yeah, that one was kind of fun. But anyways,
yeah,
your Discord?
No, it's a DJ that I saw through Two Friends. But the Discord gang will meet up and they'll get Airbnbs together. Like, these are strangers. Like, where's the stranger? Danger. But we've met up with the Discord, like at restaurants and things like that. And they are like the ones we've met are super great people. But I can see you wanted to go to a concert and you want to do it the cheapest way you can at 31.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'm sure it's like DC would be pretty expensive to stay in, but.
Yeah, but for me, I have my whole Hilton credit card, so I'm a Hilton girl.
Well, we're going to talk about the Hilton at the end of my story.
Oh,
Just
my
keep that one in
God.
mind. So even though, we'll talk about that later.
Continue
A personal
on.
story. So yeah, she's in, so Christy checked into, again, it's the Ivy City Hotel around 5:55 p.m. on Friday, March 31st, 2023. She parked her car outside her door. Her room was 116. So, I mean,
So she's on the first floor.
yeah, and I'm guessing, they call it the Ivy City Hotel, but I always thought hotel meant your room's inside and the motel was outside. I don't know why I've always thought that, but
I've always thought that myself.
yeah. I mean, that's just the name of it, Ivy City Hotel, but it is more of a motel. The doors are on the outside. So she was planning to relax before heading to the concert that night. A concert her family had said she'd been looking forward to. But unfortunately, the Ivy City Hotel, it had a dark history, a shadowy reputation among the locals. The hotel had seen its share of violence over the years, and it was a place it had a lot of disturbances. And, but again, when you're looking at hotels, you're probably not, knowing all the history of it.
All you're doing is sleeping there.
Well, yeah. So, less than 1 hour after arriving, a 43-year-old homeless man named George Sidnor rode into the hotel parking lot on his red bike. Security cameras captured George approaching Christy's room about 6:45 p.m. He appears to be listening outside the door, and then he enters. It doesn't look like he even knocks before he enters. And he definitely doesn't break in. So it's not clear if she mistakenly opened the door, if she left it unlocked, or I was even thinking
How do you leave it unlocked?
well, we'll also get to that because something happened to us, but maybe it didn't shut all the way.
How did you know it didn't shut all the way? Continue on.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
But if you look at the security camera, he does enter, but it must not be angled to see how he entered, but it's not like he doesn't break in or anything. But then I thought, could he have kind of just been standing there? Do you ever just you run out to your car because you forgot something really quick, and then when she opened the door, he was there. Again, but he didn't break in, so it's not clear if she let him in, the door's unlocked, or how he got in.
Well, it don't matter. He was a stranger.
Yeah. Okay, so he enters the room, and there's a struggle. A nearby witness, later, the person was out there smoking, reported seeing a visibly distressed woman open the door to the room, 116, shouting for help, only to be pulled back inside by the man. And she attempted to run out twice before both times getting pulled back by him into the room.
So what's the smoker do? Continue to smoke?
Called 911, which is good.
Thank God.
But didn't intervene. Called 911, which we probably all would. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
but I
they
think
could
I
have
would
ran
have been
downstairs and got
What
somebody.
you doing, asshole?
Yeah, I thought about that. I mean, I don't know if we would have, we would have got help besides just 911. But yeah, they didn't. They just called 911.
We don't know. There's maybe they were not be able to move fast. We don't know.
Good point. So 10 minutes later, the DC police arrive and knock on the door. At first, there's silence, and then finally a voice from inside said, "Everything is fine." Officers noticed something troubling, though, through the blinds. They see a bloody hand. They quickly obtain a master key down from the office and entered the room. Christy's body was discovered in the room. The scene did show clear signs that there was a violent struggle. She was found on the floor with multiple stab wounds. George the man seen earlier on the security footage, was still in the room, casually attempting to light a cigarette. The DC fire and EMS arrived soon after, but it was already too late. Christy showed no signs of life and was pronounced dead at 7:11 p.m. So as you can see, she died pretty quickly after getting to that hotel. During a search of the room, police found a large kitchen knife on one of the beds. It had dark hair on it and had half of the blade broken off due to the force that was used when he was stabbing her. Another part of the blade was later found in George's jacket. In the pocket. George was taken to the hospital to be treated for cuts on his hands, and during police questioning, officers noted blood on his shoes, pants, and vest. Of course, all items were seized as evidence. He was taken into police custody and charged with first-degree murder. The DC medical examiner later confirmed that Christy had been stabbed about 30 times, most of them landing to her back and neck, but also had stab wounds to her liver, lungs, spinal cord, and she even had some broken ribs. This would lead to a ruling of homicide, but it left many wondering, why did this brutal attack happen? There does not appear to be any connection that Christy knew George before this vicious attack. Judge Robert Oken ordered George to remain in jail until the trial. George had faced at least 8 previous criminal cases, some involving female victims. He had just recently been released from jail after pleading guilty to an attempted robbery in Washington, D.C. a few months earlier. The judge actually denied him bail, saying with his criminal history, he would pose a significant danger to the community. But a different judge let him out less than 2 weeks after that. So, it's so frustrating because he should have been in jail and this would never have happened. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Because George was wanted on 2 arrest warrants for allegedly failing to appear in court on an attempted robbery, which was the one we just talked about, but also a theft case in Prince and George County. So he's got a record. But at the end of December 2023, he was indicted by D.C. Supreme Court on charges of premeditated first-degree murder while armed, burglary while armed, kidnapping while armed, first-degree felony murder during a burglary, and first-degree felony murder while armed during a kidnapping. But George's defense attorney, Jesse Wingard, said his client did not choose Christie's hotel by chance, claiming the two knew each other. He said when police found George in the room, they discovered cuts on his right hand and fingers, claiming he was acting in self-defense against her. Alleging, she initiated the altercations inside the room. But, let's point out, George is 6'4". Christy is a very petite girl, not even 5 feet tall. His attorney would say the video just showed George arriving at the hotel on the bike, but emphasizes that, again, like I said, watching the video, there's no sound of distress yelling when that door opens or when he enters, so that whole part's a little confusing. So again, there's never been any information released of why he killed her or if they actually knew each other. But this wouldn't be the last time the Ivy City Hotel is making the news. In February 2024, the following year, a 69-year-old man came to the hotel with his 36-year-old girlfriend. He can be seen on the hotel security cameras pretty excited as he entered the room. Apparently, they were there to celebrate his birthday. Now, not sure what transpired between the two of them, but they got into a fight. He said his girlfriend started mouthing off, so he hit her, then ended up strangling her with his belt. When his girlfriend started to regain consciousness, he proceeded to beat her to death with a ceramic tile bowl lid. You know how heavy those things are? Well, I guess all this was exhausting for him because he went to sleep while his girlfriend laid, probably already dead at this point, but at the foot of the bed. In the morning, he just leaves, And his girlfriend was actually found by a staff member of the hotel. I'm, guessing when they went to clean the room. His name was William Barrett. He was 59 of Mount Holly, New Jersey. And her name was Romaine Maddox. She was 36. But I'm also wondering if that was a prostitution.
Maybe.
Because on camera, like at one point, she leaves the room and he goes looking for her. Remember, it's outdoors and he's buck naked. So they were there clearly for sex. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was also heard in the room. They were a little loud sometimes, but yeah. So between February 2023 and 2024, the Ivy City Hotel experienced a series of violent and drug-related incidences, including those 2 homicides, 2 armed robberies, 3 suspected drug overdose deaths. Police responded to these events. They also had discovered a ghost gun. It's like an unregistered and untraceable gun, a high-capacity magazine, and various illegal substances like cocaine, fentanyl, LSD, amphetamines, mushrooms. So the hotel, again, was also known for prostitution. The Office of the Attorney General has now stepped in after the Metropolitan Police Department referred them to investigate this hotel. As part of the agreement, the Ivy City Lodging is required to enhance its overnight security staffing, registering its security cameras with the DC Police Real-Time Crime Center. They are to maintain brighter exterior lighting, ensure all security cameras are functioning correctly, and employ security guards. Additionally, the Office of Attorney General, I guess that's the OAG, will conduct inspections at the hotel through August 2025. The Ivy City Hotel now will be making changes, but it comes at a terrible cost. So Sheila Bistra, that's Christy's aunt, she voiced the family's sorrow and frustration, urging hotels to implement stronger safety measures and calling on businesses to take more responsibility for guest security. Christy's tragic death is a powerful reminder of the need and a reminder for everyone to take extra precautions and for hotel security and guest staff safety, that it needs to be more of a priority. A year later, family and friends did pay tribute to Christy by going to one of her favorite restaurants. Her sister Emily, she carried a small pouch of trinkets that resembled her sister's life. I thought this was kind of special. She had a golden butterfly to help embody her free and spirit soul, a bracelet with the slogan, Full Send, which means to live life to the fullest, and a plant pin for her hair that Christy used to wear to concerts. Susan, I know that they're going to, watch this hotel for a little bit, but, there's so many of these kind of hotels out there. And you can imagine people just driving by and looking at places, sometimes they're not going to know. And I'm thinking of an exit very close to us. If we're coming down 40 and we get off at the wrong exit and there's some hotels there, people aren't going to know how shady those are. You know which exit I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I know.
They're just drug trafficking. Who knows what?
Prostitution.
Yeah. That's a bad area.
They're cleaning it up. We got a Starbucks, we got a Dunkin', we got a 7-Eleven over there now.
Yeah.
It's cleaning up, but it's going to be a hard area to clean up. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so I will say when we go on vacations, I do prefer the Airbnbs. I think maybe now because we have adult children, hotels just seem small. Like when you're just stuck in the normal hotel with just the 2 beds, and we do prefer Airbnbs. You have more room. You can have some space from each other. It's a little more privacy. But I want to share a story, and I think that's what this one kind of reminded me of. So I thought, gosh, ours could have turned out so bad. So not this past summer, but the one before, we went to Florida and we were coming back and we stopped at one of our favorite places, Savannah.
I love Savannah.
Now, honestly, it was just going to be a quick, we literally got the hotel as we're driving there, sometimes.
Did you get in downtown Savannah or off the exit?
Off an exit.
Okay.
So it wasn't very planned. Again, we didn't research hotels, but it was a Marriott. It was one of their So it wasn't super expensive, but it definitely wasn't a budget friendly.
Wasn't a Hilton.
It was a middle of the line. Was it a Hilton? What did I say?
You said Marriott.
It was a Marriott. Yeah. You stay at Hilton's?
Yeah, that's my
No, this was a Marriott. This was a Marriott. But so it was nice.
I stayed at Marriott.
Yeah, it was nice. Until we got there, spent the night, and the next day we went to, do you ever go to Tybee Island? So we spent the day over at Tybee Island.
I've never been to Tybee Island, but I've been to Savannah many times.
Yeah, we did the Tybee Island. I love that beach. It's pretty. Wasn't one of the Nicholas Sparks, part of the movie was filmed over there. I had to go see it, but...
It's Nicholas Sparks, of course it was.
North Carolina. And then that night, of course, we went to downtown Savannah. So the next morning, we go to the hotel breakfast, and we all walk off the elevator. And, they see you, so I don't know. But we sit down, and Ethan immediately said, I'm going to go back up to the room. I guess, maybe he just wasn't as hungry or whatever. So, but he kind of snuck out a back way. So, well, literally, it wasn't even that long. I get a text from him saying, somebody just came in the room. So I'm thinking housekeeping. And he's texting back. He's like, no, it was some man. And so I immediately called him, and he kind of explained, I'm like, something doesn't sound right. So I go to the front desk, and I explained somebody walked in the room. And my, son's up there, and we're kind of concerned. I'm like, could you have accidentally given somebody a key out? Because we haven't checked out yet. Like, was it a key to the room? And they insisted, no, there's no other keys. You must have lost your key. I said, no, we have our 2 keys. I have one and my son has one. That's how he's in the room. But, of course, it's always our fault. So, they're no help. So I go up in the room, and I'm asking, we finally go up there. And now Ethan is an adult, y'all. It's not like we left a kid to go to the room by themselves. And when he described to me what happened, I was like, oh, hell no. It was kind of scary. So we go back down there, and they're insisting that, nobody would have a key. Hotel staff's not there. And I said, I want to see the cameras. I want to see how that guy got in the room. Well, of course, I can't show them to you. But they gave my name to the manager. So we're checking out anyways, but it was very scary. So here's the whole story. So we're leaving, and nobody was harmed. But what did happen, so the hotel did call me back, and he said on security camera, they can see a man get off. He says he gets off at every floor, and he's kind of walking around. And then he sees him get off at our floor. Now, we're the door closest to the stairs. Don't know if that matters. And he says he sees him standing outside the door, and he says he sees him kick the door open. Now, Ethan, again, he's not a kid. He swears it was a key because he thought it was us coming back. You know how the key goes click, click? Mm-hmm. He heard that. But again, on camera, he's saying he kicked the door open. But remember how you said, can you leave a door unlocked? Well, they're saying maybe when Ethan got in the room, he didn't shut it all the way. You know how... But I'm with you. Those doors shut pretty quick.
They're pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm. So the guy walked in, sees Ethan there, cussed, said some cuss words, and he does take off, thank gosh. But what I was getting at is the hotel manager was saying there's a lot of homeless problems in that area. And what's happening is that they're getting into the hotels. They'll leave. He said sometimes they leave side doors open and they can sneak in. And he said what they do is they walk around the rooms looking for rooms that are open. A lot of times they just want to go in and take a shower. Like let's say somebody checked out and the hotel's cleaning and how they leave the doors open. They'll sneak in there, shut the door, take a shower. But they're also sneaking into rooms to steal. So I kept thinking, what if he was violent? Ethan was there by himself. Mm-hmm. It was a bigger man. Walks in the room like you never know. What if that was a girl in that room? What if that was my daughter? Like the whole thing was so scary because you don't know what.
He's kind of mean.
Susan. But I'm just saying it really makes you think of hotels.
Absolutely.
Now I kept saying, did somebody give him that key? Did they think we are, you know what I mean? Because they saw us come down for breakfast because Ethan, he heard, like.
Yeah, they're like, go take a quick shower.
I'm arguing with that guy. So I'm like, he heard the click, click, But another thing he said is happening is that one person will get a room and then they'll give the key to all the other people, like $5, and they actually make money off it. And he said these people come to the hotels and, there's a lot of theft, a lot of criminal stuff that's happening. And it's making me rethink hotels. I don't mean to throw, But I don't know. We haven't stayed at one since.
I mean, we do
No,
both.
we did.
We do
did,
Airbnbs and hotels, but...
No, we did stay at another one since, but the Margaritaville. And then we stayed at a resort in, down in Alabama. But again, it was just, I think it was, I don't know. It was scary because I thought what could have happened. And same thing with this girl here, you know. But again, the family, there's not a lot of information on the story. So
why are they keeping it so quiet?
I don't know. You can't really find a lot. I mean, I remember the story, but you know, did she know him? It was, you know, but you know, I don't know. But again, so this whole story is to really think about security at hotels. When you get in that room, you know that little thing on the door? Make sure you have that on.
But that's not always 100%.
I mean that they have them or that it works?
That it works.
Really? Susan, you just blew up my whole thing here.
Yeah. You know what I do? Because I go to Hilton and they're pet friendly.
You have Lola.
I take Lola. She'll eat your fucking face off if you fuck with me.
Yeah.
Because even Matt, like, if we're, like, wrestling or being... She's like... Rah! Like, she's right there. And she is like, what's going on here? Even if we're playing, she'll like it.
Well, I think the breed of her dog would scare people. Everybody knows that. I was a little nervous when you first got her. And now she's my sweetheart. But
yeah, but you come in the house and you're like, Lola, I'm going to give you a treat.
Well, they don't give her treats because they said she needs to go on a diet. I think she looks perfectly fine.
The
She's a little
vet said
chubby.
she was fat.
She's a little chubby, but you know, girl's cute. But yeah, maybe we all need Lolas. But I just rethink that. I'm like, that could have been so bad. What if that guy was armed? What if he, you know, what if it was, you know, I don't know if, because Ethan was the one that he encountered, but, you know, and security camera, they say he keeps looking back and, he, you know, was running down the hall. But they said they can see him on every floor going around looking for open hotel rooms. But again,
that's crazy. I will tell you a story. Years ago, the girls were little, so it was a long time ago. And Matt and his brother, Zach, my younger son, and Sydney and Ariel, we all went to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And Matt, his brother, and Zach went to the Carolina game, UNC Carolina game. They were playing it somewhere in Atlanta, and I took the girls to American Girl Doll. They have a restaurant, and they took their American Girl dolls to the restaurant. Well, Ariel did. Sydney didn't have one. She had outgrown that. But we went there, and then Ariel got to like buy outfits for a little American Girl doll, and we went back to the hotel. Well, the fire alarm started going off in the hotel. And it's like, what is happening? Now, I'll tell you, I've been in hotels more than once that the fire alarm goes off.
I've never had that happen.
It's a fucking pain in the ass. Because most of the time, it's nothing. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it was something. And Matt and his brother were there. So I don't know if it's like the next day or whatever. But everybody was together. And they were like, Matt was like, we can't take the elevator. It's the fire alarm. So we got to go down the steps. So we walk out of our room. We go to the right to go to those steps. Open the door. Smoke is everywhere. So like it's a legit fucking fire. So then we go down to the left. And I said to Matt, oh my God, because my birthday had just passed. And I said, I left my camera in the room. He had bought me like a really nice camera for my birthday. I said, my camera's not getting burned up. Everything else can burn up, but I'm going to go back and get the camera.
You went back for your camera?
I went back for the damn camera. So they had already gone out. And when I was walking down the steps, there was like a man and a blonde woman. I don't want to go into the descriptions of the man, but they were at the bottom of the steps, and I looked at them, and the man and the woman ran out and got into a SUV and drove away. It was weird. Totally weird. But I had happenstanced on them. And then they ran out. And it was weird. And I said to Matt, I said, this was just really weird. Like, they were there, and then they get into this SUV and drive away. So the police brought me in and interviewed me, and apparently it was the thing. This couple, they were starting fires in hotels, in the stairwells. They would start them in both stairwells to trap people in.
They were trying to burn people, or are they going to go up and steal from their...
I don't know what the hell they were doing.
So I'm wondering if they were trying to get you all to leave, then go up and rob your rooms.
I don't know.
But then they'd be in a fire.
We were outside forever.
But you saw them.
I saw them and could give them a description, and I did. I did the best I could. But my daughter, my older daughter, there's this little girl who left her stuffed pig in the room because she had to get out of the room, and she's crying because her piggy is gonna burn in the fire, which the hotel was fine. And she's like, my piggy, my piggy. And Sydney, my oldest daughter, she looks at me and everybody and all of us and says, I smell bacon.
Oh my God. Sydney?
Sydney. She's ruthless, man.
She is not. She's a sweet one.
She is supposed to be the sweet one. But she wasn't. But yeah, so then they gave us an option that we could go pack up our stuff and go stay in another hotel because of the smell, or like next door, or we could stay there. And I think they comped the room. We ended up staying there because the smell wasn't. We went up there and we were like, it's fine. We're just sleeping and leaving tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And well, they're not coming back, right? I mean,
that's crazy.
When a crime's committed, the safest place you're in is where the crime was committed.
Why not in this hotel? Because there's tons of crimes at the Ivy City Hotel. But
yeah. So
that was the thing they were doing, just going around
going around and catching hotels on fire.
That's weird. So no motive.
Well, I'm sure they had a motive. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is, but I've had friends stay. I had a friend, and she stayed in a hotel and left like cash in the hotel, and while they went out, housekeeping came in and wiped her out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's all. I don't want to blame the staff because this guy clearly was not the staff, but so it's like, if Ethan wasn't in the room, was he going to rob? Like, because you think about it, you go down for breakfast.
Staff help him? Give him a key? I mean, you don't know.
I know. He heard the click, click. That's all I keep saying. Because he said, Mom, it was like, you know what that sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
And he said he even looked over at the door because he wanted to see which one of us were coming back. So if he would have kicked it in, he wouldn't even have that to think to look over. But anyways, you and I were talking about we don't leave valuables when you're, not in the room, but we went down for breakfast. My purse would have been there. All our stuff was in the room.
I don't leave nothing.
I know. Now
anything that's important, it's always on me.
And I just didn't like when I went to tell the desk. Nobody cared. They're like, you lost your key. I'm like, we didn't lose our key. And I checked out and I gave him both keys. And he's like, well, he must have dropped it when he went in the room. Like, quit blaming us. We have our freaking keys in our hands. There wasn't dropping a key. Either somebody had given him a key. Or, I don't know, could the bottom of the door have been just opened a little bit? We don't know. But the whole point was, what was his intention of going in the room? Was it literally just to use? But think about it. Would you want someone using your shower stuff? Like let's say we had already, No,
it's bad enough. Other people have used it before we get there.
Yeah, I'm probably sure he probably would have. Most likely took something. But anyways, he was saying that that's a common occurrence. They're always in the rooms or looking for open rooms or looking for people who left the doors open. Now, he's not saying any violence has happened at their hotel, but a lot of robbery, a lot of using the rooms, maybe even taking a quick nap while you're not in them. I'm like, oh, gosh, that's awful. But
yeah, but even Airbnbs have been found to have cameras and watching their people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to trust that you pick a reputable place.
Well, I got to tell you a super funny story about what happened to my husband. So he travels a lot for work. Well, not as much anymore. But he was at one of those extended stay places, where he's there for like a whole week. And there was a couple there that caused chaos in the hotel. I mean, it was like a big thing. Their hotel was trying to get rid of them. So I guess the day that they finally kicked him out, they decided to cause a little chaos before they left. And it involved my husband.
Oh, shit.
So he had his week's worth of laundry. And they have like the little laundry room. So he put it in the washing machine, went back to the room. He goes down to get it to put it in the dryer, and it's not there. So he's thinking the guys played a joke. Like, what would you think? Your clothes are gone. So nobody touched the stuff. And he calls the other guys staying at the hotel, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, okay. He goes to the front desk. So they can see, because to get into the room, you had to use a key. Well, they can see that the last person in there was these people they kicked out. So what they did before they left, they went in there, stole all my husband's clothes out of the washing machine. He had no clothes. I mean, everything. Boxers, all his clothes were gone.
Your husband's a boxer man? Now we all know.
Well, whatever those things are they wear. But
boxer, briefs.
Well, they're fitted, but they stole
he's
all
a
his
brief
clothes.
Man then.
Boxers, briefs. I don't know the difference. What's a brief? No, they're not little.
The briefs are fitted.
About his underwear.
The briefs are fitted. The boxers are more loose.
No, they're not loose, but they're not the little things. But anyway.
So he doesn't wear like the tiny whities.
No, does Matt?
No, Matt doesn't wear the tiny whities. He's a brief man.
I don't think any.
Now the world knows.
I was gonna say I don't think guys have wore those since they were kids. I don't think my kids never, or my kids.
If you need to buy him Christmas presents, buy him briefs extra large, please, and not white ones.
Is that Matt? He wears extra large briefs? I'm so confused.
Yeah, you could probably get by with being even large, but
yeah. So hotels,
briefs, no whites.
Watch your laundry, because you never know if a crazy person's just going to do something to be vindictive, I guess. I'm like, why would you steal somebody's
clothes?
clothes?
And they don't even know him.
What clothes? What clothes? I mean, you stole. So I said, well, they're probably all in the throughway somewhere. They probably left and just were chucking out your clothes.
Oh, my God. Poor Paul.
Yeah. So he had to buy all new clothes.
Poor Paul.
He had to buy all new clothes on the work, I'm sure, covered.
I mean, I think...
But yeah, weird things happen in hotels. But again,
weird things do happen in hotels, and I think you have to be safe.
Yeah, but
I love the hotels that now have where you have to use the key card or I love the key on your phone. Mm-hmm. Mine doesn't always work, so I have to go get a plastic key. But when you have to get on the elevator, and you have to use the key, because you are only there because you are able to be there, that you've paid to be there.
Yeah, but what he was saying was happening is, you can't smoke in the hotel. So they'll leave like a side door open, like they'll put something there, which I think if your side door is being left open by like a bucket or whatever they're using, some alarm should go off. Mm-hmm. But he said that's how they're sneaking in a lot too. Or what will happen is somebody leaves and gives them a key, and then they'll go and say, oh, my key's not working, and you know what I mean? And so it looks like they're supposed to be in the hotel, but I guess this is a problem. Savannah, I mean, it's a pretty, when you're walking around Savannah, you do see a lot of homeless.
Yeah.
But we met, another off-the-topic story, the homeless man. When I was alone with the kids one time in Savannah, he said he described himself as the town drunk, but he wasn't drunk when we were talking to him. And he gave us the most detailed story of the city. And that's what he said. If you want to know, you ask the drunks. I'm like, I don't know what to say, but super nice. He gave us so much detail of the city, told us exactly what we needed to see, stories about the buildings. I don't know if they're all true, but I mean, they seem pretty reliable. But
why are you talking to the homeless people?
Well, the little wedding venue out there? They're getting ready. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a little chapel thing. They're getting ready to have something going on there. And he was sitting at the bench. And some lady came and wanted him to leave, and that's what he said, because something was going to be going on. And I said,
you believe anything, don't you?
But I'm just saying, we're talking about homeless people. I just don't want to make it sound like we think all homeless people are bad, because we know that's not the case. But
not all homeless people are bad. We didn't say that.
No. I mean, we're talking about them breaking into hotels and who knows what they were going to do, but that's scary.
They're doing what they need to do to survive.
Yeah, but...
Just don't infringe on me.
Well, the guy that killed Christy clearly has mental issues, because I don't think you'd kill somebody and then just light a cigarette casually and start smoking it, so...
Yeah, that's something totally
That's
different.
mental issues.
Yeah.
That's not just breaking in to steal.
But when I think about these young people going to concerts, like my little Discord gang, I mean, they don't want to think of me as, like, Mama Susan's watching
Mama
you all.
Susan!
Like, I really do care about it. Like, you care about them and that little group. And I don't want to see any of them stay at a hotel by themselves. They're always welcome to stay with us.
Well, when's the last time you stayed at a motel with the outside doors? I don't think we've stayed at them since...
Nancy.
Have you stayed at one recently with the outside?
No, and I don't plan on it. I mean, that could happen, but
I'm just thinking maybe that's a little less secure.
I do think back in the older days, like the older times, that was a thing.
Yeah.
And it was very quaint. And it had its own beauty about it.
Well, charm.
Yes, it had charm, but it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, I guess we just need to be careful where we're staying, check out their security. But I didn't like the idea he said, people can leave that side door open, they can come in and out. Well, I think if a side door is left open, you better have some alarm going off.
I would think an alarm should go off. So when we went to a wedding it's been a month or two ago. We went to a wedding. We stayed at the Hilton. I can't remember which Hilton brand it was. But we went out back to take Lola out back to go to the potty. We came back from the wedding. And when I went to do my card to get back in, it was past hours. I had to walk all the way around the hotel to the front of the hotel to get in.
Okay.
So where in the morning, when I took her out, I could just swipe my card, it was fine. But it was because it was after 11 o'clock.
You couldn't use those side doors.
You couldn't use the side doors.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But this happened first thing in the morning.
That's because it's a Hilton.
Oh, okay.
We're bougie. No, we're not.
Well, we just had the Jimmy Buffett, and that was so much fun. You want to talk about a fun hotel? Go to a Jimmy Margaritaville hotel. Those were a blast.
I need to try that.
Yes.
But
I
do. I use my Southwest card and I use my Hilton card for everything because my kids are everywhere, so I want to rack the points for Southwest. And I'm traveling, so I want to use my Hilton. I mean, I pretty much got my whole California when I went to LA. My stay was almost practically free by my Hilton points.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. But I think when you travel, you have to think about safety.
And be aware, because I can remember one time I was traveling back to New York by myself with the kids, and only one time in all those years I ever stopped at a hotel. We always drive straight through. But I think it was I left later, and I thought, I'm getting tired. So we stopped in, I think I was in Pennsylvania, so it wasn't too far. And I just remember stopping off at a high, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is sometimes you're driving, you just get off the interstate, throughway. And I just remember, oh God, that hotel. I just kept, so my son he was young at the time. He was so wound up, and he's jumping on the beds. And I'm like, I'm never going to get to sleep. And I have to drive in the morning. And I'm yelling at him, stop jumping. He's like, Mom, I'm right here. It was the people upstairs. Oh, gosh, it was awful. Some of those things are so thin, right? You hear everything.
I have been in a very fancy Hilton and heard a ooh and ah as I walked down the hall. Oh. So, yes. But you just have to think about being safe. But if you're flying, and if I fly from here to wherever, you can't take your mace. You can't take your taser. Well, you can't take your gun because you can't take that shit on the plane.
We're not taking a gun on the plane.
You can't take it on the plane. So you're not taking that stuff. So it makes you vulnerable. Then it does make you more vulnerable than if you're driving. You can take your mace, you can take your taser, and you can take your gun.
Protections.
yeah, don't fuck with me because I might have all three.
I was like, whoo! Kieran's kind of scary. And you got Lola, you got the pit bull with you. People aren't messing with you, Susan.
Well, I mean, I don't think I do it in my head like I got to protect myself from crazy people. I think it's just done as, it's just...
Yeah, we're in different times. We wouldn't even thought
different.
I was going to say, we wouldn't even thought about this years ago.
Well, my kids were young. We used to leave the front door open all the time. Because they'd lose a damn house key. You just leave the front door open. And now, I mean, you can't do those things. I mean, we've had it in our own neighborhood where we had one of our neighbors, because someone with dementia was trying to get into people's houses in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing I need to do is walk downstairs and see an old lady on my couch. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that'd be a little scary.
I mean, a little old lady, I probably wouldn't like lose my mind, but you know, you just can't do those things. And I've heard podcasts where like you'll be working out in the yard all day, you got your garage door open, you go inside, you forget it's open, and people come in that way.
Oh, through the garage.
Just because you left your garage door open, you didn't think to hit the button to close it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So like I said, scarier
it's all about
times
being
and
safe.
Yeah, maybe research your hotels and looking. Because actually, the last vacation, I said we don't stay in them, but we went to 3 different states. Remember that? And we did do all hotels because the Airbnb is the problem. Is every time you stay at one, it's cleaning fee, administrative fee, so they add up.
Yeah.
But if we're just going to one place, we'll definitely pick them in a heartbeat. But our last vacation, we even went to Helen, Georgia. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And that was a nice hotel. We stayed in there, but anyways, all those were fine. So this summer we did not have any incidents, but that last one, I'll tell you, and I knew this story, and it just kind of creepy. You just don't know. Like he was homeless. Was he specifically like? Did he see her? I don't know. I don't know how he was just standing outside that room.
Yeah, and you have to be safe. Like if you haven't ordered room service and somebody's knocking at your door, why are they knocking at your door?
You've ordered room service at a hotel? I've never.
Shut up.
We go to vending machines. Kids get Doritos.
Towels. If you haven't ordered towels, like why is somebody knocking on your door?
Yeah.
Be very cautious before you open the door.
But George never even knocked on her door. He was literally just, if you watch the security cameras, he's just standing there and then goes in. So.
But there are things, if you follow TikTok, there are little gadgets that you can buy that also help keep the door closed.
Okay.
And things like that. I just think you have to be vigilant and
check in the hotels you're going to. Well, I think sometimes not everything's out there, but you might. Do they have 24-hour security?
This hotel was probably. I'm 31. I'm going to a concert. I'm going to get this cheap ass hotel
in DC.
Yeah, because all I'm going to do is sleep there.
Yeah.
So, I would say, even though I worry about my little Discord gang all Airbnb-ing it together, it's probably not a bad idea. You're better in numbers.
Well, this one until this August of 2025, remember, it's going to be pretty safe because they're being watched.
Yeah.
Instead of being made to shut down, they're going to be watched. But again...
And they probably should be shut down. But, even though if you're with strangers, you're always better in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Better in numbers. And my next story, it's another one. It's better in numbers.
Okay.
Have somebody with you.
Yep.
Because hotels aren't the only place that's not safe.
Oh, no.
So, But
anyways, that was just a story about, even for hotels to take more precautions and keep guests safe.
Absolutely. Get to know your guests. Don't just walk past, like when you walk in, because you can now check in. Like I can do everything on my phone. I can check in. I can get my key. Everything is on my phone. Everything is digital. So that front desk person, I don't know who the hell they are. They don't know who I am. That is something that should be. You should know who your guests are. hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I'm the concierge or whatever. If you need anything, let me know. Just by you walking in and they see a strange face. Hello, I'm Susan. I'm here at the front desk if you need. What room are you in? Or not even, because I don't think they can ask you the room, because I think that's a whole privacy thing. Hello, what party are you with? I'm with the brown party. Well, it's nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm Susan. You just call down here and ask for Susan, and I'm here till 6 a.m. I'm willing to help you with anything. To know who's in your establishment, because I'm going to tell you, if there's a shady character in your establishment and they're going to kill your guest, they are going to think about twice of killing you too.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe just having more presence in the hotel. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they were going to do, just have more security, have more people walking around.
So you don't need more presence from employees that work at the hotel. Because if they, with that,
everything online,
it's less employees that you have to hire, that you have to pay. So it's more money in your pocket.
Ah, I see what you're saying. No, we need presence.
Yeah, you need that. I'm so and so, and here I am. I'm here to help you. You need more towels. You need more soap. You need any issues, let me know.
Or just like you said, just to have eyes on the floors, that's when he's, like I said, okay, this is what he's telling me. I didn't see the camera, but he was saying that, he was just walking. He got off the elevator and was walking all the halls, and even after ours, he went running and looking for somewhere else to sneak into. So, if somebody was on that floor, they would have seen him and maybe deterred him.
Yeah, well, I'm not opening the door to somebody I don't know.
But again, he didn't open the door. This person, either somebody had given him a key or who knows how he got in. But anyway, I guess the whole episode, it's a tragic story for Christy. Young life cut short. Please be careful and be safe.
Yeah, be careful, be safe.
And our cuckoo clock is going off, so I think that's our timer. If anybody hears it, here's our music. Well, with that, we will say goodbye and see y'all next week.
See you next week. Thanks for joining us on Empty Nesters True Crime Podcast, where we've delved into chilling mysteries and dark secrets. With their nest now empty, Susan and Nancy will keep uncovering the truth and venturing into the unknown. Until next time, stay safe and step into the shadows with us again.